What's up, y'all? Figured I'd do a ban list reaction for Master Duel and just really talk about what that means for me and kind of how I'll be processing these changes. All right, so February 5th, 2025, this is what we're looking at. No more degeneracy with Secret Village. I have been both on the giving and receiving end of this card, and yeah, it's pretty unfair. I'm not gonna lie. So seeing this thing gone, I'm not upset by that at all. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if this is something that the TCG and OCG will decide to hit as well. I mean, turning off spell cards is just ridiculous. Imperial Order is already banned, and so this is not as easy as Imperial Order, but it's pretty darn easy to set this thing up. So I'm actually pretty happy to see this. It is a little bit unfortunate because our Dragoon control strategy takes a big hit from this. So I'll try to get a couple of like last minute Dragoon games in just so I can enjoy my Secret Village before it all goes bye-bye. All right, and then summon limit to get banned. Yeah, fuck yeah, get this thing out of here. I hate this card. Limiting things to 2 summons per turn. I mean, it's fine, I guess, in control strategies, but the way this gets really abused is the opponent setting this up off of a Griffin or, you know, doing their full combo on their turn and then flipping this for you so you can't play the game. Not a fan of this, so happy to see that go. Anti-spell to 1. Okay, if people want to sack me with this, that's fine. It still allows you to play spell cards. You just got to set them to. Similar to Summon Limit, it is a little bit degenerate when your opponent drops this after already doing all of their spell cards. But, you know, that being said, this is not as bad because you can still pop off with monsters. So that's fine. This is probably the biggest point of discussion that many people are talking about is now, much like the OCG, the Master Duel Forbidden and Limited list has also semi-limited Maxx C, putting it to 2 copies. I'm almost 100% certain this is in response to the Mulch Armies. So, you know, honestly, this is fine. I think that this is a good thing to see Maxx C limited to a semi-limit, and maybe even eventually hit this to 1. I think OCG players really do love this card. So, or I don't know actually. I'm not an OCG player, but I do know that this is very prevalent in their format and obviously in Master Duel. So getting this from 3 to 2 is great because it'll mean people will see this slightly less, and everybody has this in their deck anyways. So let's make it a little less consistent. I'm actually here for it. I'm very here for it, says the TCG player. All right, Sangan Kaiman going to 2. We saw this one coming, right? I said that in my last Tenpai deck list that this needed to happen if they don't want pure Tenpai continuing to run around, right? It'll continue to get splashed in other engines, of course, but yeah, this thing getting limited to 2, it does make me think that maybe we can start to build this like we do in the TCG now, right? Where you start splashing in other ways to either draw your way into this or to, I don't know, maybe splash other engines with Tenpai to make it more valid. But yeah, I actually don't have a big problem with this going to 2. You can probably still get away with some more pure builds. I have to go to the lab and think about how I want to build Tenpai after this. There are a couple things I would like to explore with this going down to 2 now. So that's good. Nightmare thrown to 2. I think this also makes sense. There is so much Yubel. I mean, Yubel and Tenpai are both, you know, up there in terms of high tier threats for the Master Duel meta. So I think hitting this consistency ever so slightly for Yubel probably makes sense. They've already got their fusion hit to 2, so I think another indirect hit, or not indirect, this is a direct hit to Yubel. But yeah, I think that's fine. And many other decks were taking advantage who could kind of search those Fiends with 0 attack and defense. There are quite a few in the game. So yeah, I don't have too much to say about that. Morphing Jar to 3, love it. Let's bring the jars back. Cyber Jar, sure, why not? Well, this thing is a crazy effect. Let's read this guy. Flip. Destroy, meaning flip face up, right? Destroy all monsters on the field. Then both players reveal the top 5 cards of their decks. Then special summon all revealed level 4 or lower monsters in face-up attack or face-down defense. Also add any remaining cards to their hand. So, yeah, you know, I think we could see some empty jar here. It's super inconsistent, so, you know, fuck it. Let's bring it back. Now, this is kind of interesting, right? We got Aluber to 3, Sorenir to 3, and Opening to 3. Branded's coming back. I mean, and this is kind of makes sense, right? They've only got 1 branded fusion, and so let's throw them a bone, right? Yes, branded players, if they know what they're doing, are absolutely a threat. They can do some crazy stuff, and this will absolutely make it more consistent for them. But, you know, I don't personally see a big problem with this. Branded opening going from 2 to 3. This is going from 2 to 3. no big deal. Now, Soraneer going from 1 to 3 is a lot more big of a deal because this allows branded players in particular to do their branded and high spirits shenanigans, right? That turns that card basically into another copy of Branded Fusion. So I think that definitely is something to consider. But for us in particular, right, we've been rocking some Bestial Control. And so getting this guy to 3 is so good for the Bestial engine in particular. Obviously, it's good for Branded too, but yeah, Bestial Control is getting way better. So I'm personally super stoked about this. All right, Celestial going to 3. Did this thing get an errata? It says, well, you have no cards in your hand. Except the turn this was sent to the graveyard. You can banish this, draw 2. I don't think this got errata. I think just people aren't making the Destroy Phoenix Enforcer as much, because this is like a pot of greed, right? Draw 2 cards when you send this off of the Fusion Destiny when you're making your Phoenix Enforcer play. So, okay, let's see how this does at 3. I don't think many people will probably play it. Watch me be wrong. Watch me, see everybody be back on TPE. But why would you be making Destroy Phoenix Enforcer? I mean, besides hero players, if with Anaconda, when you could be making like Dragoon or something cool like that. So I don't know. Maybe this is something that will drastically change the meta. I just personally don't see it. And then that's it. So those are all the changes. So yeah, not too much. Honestly, we're just kind of cleaning up some degeneracy, hitting some of the most prevalent decks, and then this is the real standout here, right? So I think we will watch your career with great interest. No, but seriously, I am curious to see where Maxx C goes from here. There's so much discussion about this card, right? This is like the defining card for the OCG, and it is not present at all in TCG. So yeah, where this thing's future lies, I don't know. I don't think we'll probably get another Charmin. I think we've got all 3, so that's probably it. So yeah, does Maxx C go to 1? Does it get banned? We'll have to stay tuned to find out. Anyways, thanks for stopping by.